Jasmine told me she's not sure if she's ready to have a baby at this moment. I just couldn't believe that Jasmine made this decision without me.
I've got to say, that's one of the dumbest things I've heard this season, and one of the dumbest things I've heard in most seasons. Why are you surprised that Jasmine made this choice by herself? When did Jasmine make any choice that involves you? When did she make any choice that involves your approval? This has been a Jasmine thing since day dot. So to be honest with you, the fact that he's sitting here acting all oblivious to the fact that Jasmine did this is crazy to me. But also at the same time though, it's also evidence of why he's still in a relationship with Jasmine. But he's more than happy to put up with whatever BS she's happy to throw in his direction. But you know what, Gino, if you want to continue living life blindly, stupidly, that is entirely up to you. But the fact that you didn't see this coming, or the fact that you're surprised, is crazy. Let's continue, because this is just the beginning.
Look at my alopecia. And if I get pregnant, baby is emotionally affected by anything. I would rather prefer that my children are here in America, we're all together, and that I can think of bringing a child to this world.
You know, fair enough, she brings up her having alopecia, her being stressed as a reason why she's not ready to have a child right now. And respectfully, you can't argue with that. You know, because at the end of the day, it is her body on the line, and she has to look after her own well-being 1000%, both mentally and physically. So I can respect that. Whether or not she's actually being truthful about it, who knows? But then let's just go back to the last bit here, because you see this little last bit here where she talks about her kids. It's the thing that she says right at the end.
I prefer that my children are here in America, we're all together, and that I can think of bringing a child to this world.
She ended by saying, and then I can think of bringing a child to this world. And then I can think of it. Gino right now believes that you are going to give him a child at some point. You're just not doing it right now because you want to focus on the pageant, and also you want to focus on your own mental and physical health. That's what he's thinking right now, because you have given him pretty much confirmation that it will happen in due time. So for her to say that, oh, once my kids come in, then I will think about it. How many times is she going to continuously saying to him, I'm going to think about it, I'll do it at some point, it's going to happen, but I just have to do this first. Like, yo, Gino, you can't be this blind, you can't be this stupid, you can't be this idiotic, like, come on. But then at the same time, though, it does make sense, because Gino, it really is all of those things, really and truly. There's nothing worse than a desperate human being in this world. Because desperate people will happily stick around no matter how much they're lied to, because for some reason they give themselves this imaginary false hope that is just ridiculous. But with that being said, though, let's move on to the next couple of the most recent episode.
That Ed's not going to be in her life anymore. You know, she's disappointed.
I don't believe one bit that Riley is disappointed that Ed is out, that Ed is now no longer going to be in her life. I find that very surprising personally. Obviously, I'm not in their lives, but let's look at it this way. For a man that has been in your mom's life 13 times, I believe he's broke up with her. How is a child even able to build a sustainable relationship with somebody that is in and out like that? That is so unhealthy. It's one thing for it to be healthy for Liz herself to be putting up with this nonsense, even though, you know, that's a whole different conversation. But for a child to experience mom saying, yeah, I'm with Ed. No, I'm not. Yes, I'm with him. No, I'm not. Yes, I'm with him. No, I'm not. Multiple times. The level of selfishness of how Ed's choices and Liz's choices have impacted potentially her child is crazy to me. You know what, though? Let's listen to the next bit.
So my fear is that this has negatively impacted Riley in any way, and that would just break my heart if it did.
Really? Really? So now all of a sudden Ed really cares about how his behavior towards Liz makes an impact on her daughter. Really and truly. You know what? There was something about this scene that made me feel as if the child was kind of like, I don't want to use the word forced or coerced, but I just felt like as if the child was maybe asked to just play along with being like, yeah, Ed, I'm going to miss you, Ed. Yeah, I love you, Ed. You know, yeah, you've been this person. There was just something about it, because her energy, you know, when Ed was talking, fair enough, he looks like he had a little bit of emotion, but this is a man that's been on the show for ages, so he knows how to play his emotions. Just keep 100, right? But when he was interacting with Riley, she was just like, yeah, no, you know. And, you know, let's be real. When kids are emotional and kids know they're not going to see someone again, like, they show a lot of emotion. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, most of the time, they even cry. So for me personally, I don't even know if I even believe this part of the storyline personally, you know. But as far as I'm concerned, though, the fact that Ed wants to sit there and say that he actually gives a damn about how his attitude towards Liz, you know, that he gives a damn about how it may affect Riley is absolute BS. Because you would have let go of Liz a very long time ago if you cared about the responsibility of her freaking daughter, point blank period. And Liz would have done the same goddamn thing if she also kept the responsibility of her daughter as well. Because at the end of the day, it's one thing for him to be coming in and out, but it's a whole other thing for her to be letting this freaking annoying person of a human being continuously come in and out of their freaking lives. But hey, I guess this is why Liz has always had this custody situation being going on, right? Priorities. Nonetheless, though, we continue.
Because it's our wife. It's our property.
I mean, listen, the family's not happy with hearing the word property. Now, here's the thing. There's two ways we can go about this. I do believe that there's a chance that this could just be a language barrier situation where, you know, there's been a poor choice of words because English is not, you know, the family's first language, so therefore they've used the word property. Or there's a chance where they actually do mean the word property itself in particular. Now, I can understand that nobody wants to be in a position where they feel like they are selling their child to somebody else, or they are giving their child away to anybody else, a child that they have raised, a child that they have loved, a child that is literally a part of their heart. I can understand, I can respect that, right? But here's the thing though, I personally still have struggles with this storyline when it comes to Emily and Kobe. I generally don't believe that this storyline with Emily and Kobe is real. I feel like it's so generic because like he's been away for like what, 2 years, maybe 2-3 years now from his country since he's moved to the States. You would have thought that the moment that he had obtained his green card, his work visa, he would have been back straight to Cameroon with Emily to get him married and do the whole tradition. I generally feel like this storyline was just manufactured for them to go back and then to play this whole storyline of, you know, what the traditional wedding should be, blah-de-da-de-da-de-da-da-da. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if they took this idea from 9-Day UK. Why I say this? Because in 9-Day UK, we experienced, forgot the guys, Marcy and Michael, that's it, yes. And of course, he had to go to Kenya, you know, to get the blessing, you know, obviously to be able to marry the daughter. And obviously he had to give away all these things, blah, 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 blah. So that was kind of different, but it's pretty much the same freaking format. I wouldn't be surprised if it legit is a copy and paste, but really and truly, do I sit here and believe that Emily's parents would be that bothered about a selection of freaking words? No, I don't believe it. And also at the same time, do I believe that they would have gone all the way to Cameroon without Kobe actually telling them about what's going to go down before they actually got there? I don't believe that, because Emily is somebody that definitely wants to know everything. We know that she's a controlling person, so therefore she's going to know exactly what's going on. She wants all you know what I mean? She wants everything laid in front of her, and I wouldn't be surprised if her parents are the same too. So really and truly, I'm not even gonna try and dive into this one and say, oh, blood, because it's just, you know, I like to use the storylines, you know, to give advice and, you know, give my opinion and all that kind of stuff, but it has to feel authentic to a certain degree. This one just doesn't, because I just don't see this being a thing where they get married. Listen, I've known people who've got married here, then they've gone back to their country and got married smooth sailing with a similar process. No issues whatsoever, because everything has been understood on both sides, because everything has been educated from the very get-go. I refuse to believe that that wasn't the case with these two. Come on now. Anyway, it is what it is. Let's move on.
I don't want to keep living a life with somebody who chooses and prefers to have drama.
I prefer it.
Want to accept me say sorry, you still can't let it go. The same way you can't let go of me online cheating over a year later.
You know, sometimes you get to a point in a relationship with your partner, even friends, whatever, right? But you say to yourself, how come you keep bringing this up all the time? I thought we got over it. But yeah, you keep bringing it up. So are we moving on or are we not moving on? I got to know where we stand, because right now I just feel like we stand in a position where you're never going to forgive me. You're never going to move on, and you're always going to bring this up whenever it fits you, whenever it fits the narrative that you're looking for. So really and truly, if I was Rob in this situation, would I be tired with the fact that she's always bringing something up that happened over a year ago? I'd be tired too. But let's talk about that year ago situation. Last week, I literally said that there's been an inconsistency in their story, especially when it comes to what Sophie says. First, she knew that he was cheating before they got married. Then last week, she referred to him cheating after they got married. This week, he's now saying this happened over a year ago. He's pretty much now going back to the original storyline of the fact that this happened before they got married. Like, yo, what's going on? What is going on, production team? You need to get a cast member saying things that make sense. Because there's a whole lot of loopholes going on here. And this is why I said once upon a time that with Sophie, it's very hard to trust what she says sometimes, because the things that she comes out of her mouth, they have a level of inconsistency behind them. And that's something that we have to notice, something that we have to address, you know what I mean? We can't avoid that. But let's continue.
Fine.
myself.
For you. Sorry, Rob. I feel terrible for you. It must be very sad. Really sad.
That's your problem. Maybe that's your problem. You're
Yes, I feel
convinced.
like you don't love me because of what you did.
You feel like you don't love you because of what he did, but yet you still married him. Oh, Jesus.
That is my problem.
So
And you
just
don't
admit-
help me feel better
so-
about
so
it.
it-
Actually, I'm telling you, be nice, be loving to me, say I look pretty when I walk out in the lingerie, whatever I was wearing.
So let's just talk about that real quick there. So in the beginning of the episode, they go out to this shop to, you know, try on clothes for their bedroom activities. And the thing that I noticed about it is that when Rob went into it, he went into it with energy of like, yeah, I'm happy to be a clown. I just want this to be a fun day, to be a cool day. So what did he do? First, he wore this white thing that was just hideous, but he's like, I'm having fun with it. Then she got him to wear this, whatever this string thing is again. Yeah. And he's like, I'm just having fun with it. But when it came to Sophie's turn of now wearing something, you know, she did not want to comply in terms of wearing whatever that she obviously they had chosen. Obviously, her reasons were because she thought the skirt was too short for her to obviously be seen on camera because it showed her backside. All right, even let's just pretend that your whole Instagram isn't based on you actually taking most of your pictures from your behind. But whatever. But either way, though, she comes out of, you know, in this top with a lack of enthusiasm, just like. So Rob's initial reaction is, oh, so I bring the energy and then you just want to kill it. That's how I read his reaction to, you see what I'm saying again? And I just think that the reason why he was upset was because he felt like he was actually putting in work to try and make that day fun. But Sophie wasn't. She wasn't really committed to make it a complete fun. And that's why I believe that when he first saw her, his reaction was like, why are you being so flat for? It wasn't the fact that he was disgusted about what she was wearing or he wasn't happy with it. It was just the energy that she brought out was very Sophie, should I call it? You know how Sophie has this thing where she's always like, we can call it a resting bee face, but nah, it's just literally that energy of like, I don't even want to be here. And I think this is the problem that I have here with Sophie in this relationship. It is evident that she has checked out, you know. Now, I'm not going to say that she doesn't love him anymore or doesn't want to be with him anymore, but she's generally checked out because it feels as if she's always looking for something to complain about, something to moan about. And that's why Rob in this situation is talking about, hey, what can I do that's actually going to satisfy it? Because no matter what I do, there's always a freaking issue. And that's why he's saying that this is why you're always choosing violence, basically. You see what I'm saying? But let's continue.
If I leave you and a man or a woman or whatever the makes me feel amazing and I'm loved and I'm happy and we're cuddling and I clean for him and I cook for him and I do everything because he's doing what I want, then you're like, maybe I'll be happy with someone else. Is me just looking for that validation, reassurance from him because I'm feeling like Rob doesn't really care about me.
In a nutshell, she wants you to be obsessed with her. In a nutshell. That's just that. She wants him. It's weird, isn't it? Because it's like she wants him to be obsessed and she also wants him to be controlling on a healthy level. Because there are some women out here that they want a man who's going to come in, you know, and he's going to tell them what they can and cannot do, but it's something that does a thing for them, you know what I mean? It's not, they don't see it as a form of manipulation or anything like that. It's just they want a man to be so obsessed that he won't be happy at the sight of her being near another person or whatnot. But here's the thing though, and this is where the contradiction kind of comes in. She's the one that lied about her friendship with her own freaking friend, Kai, whatever his name was. She lied about that one. She kept that a secret. So really and truly, the issue that I have with Sophie, as per usual, she's very inconsistent with her actions. You know, 1 minute she's got a guy friend. You know what I mean? Next minute she wants him to be obsessed enough, She needs to make her mind up. But here's the thing though, it's not even a case of making her mind up about what she wants. It's a case of where she just isn't invested in a relationship anymore because she can't be happy anymore. You know, whatever trust that was there before is gone.
Like you're who I want.
If that's a threat to get me to...
That's not a... You don't listen to me. Are you understanding what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, I heard what you said.
You don't care. I'm asking you. You don't care. If I was just to be with someone else, you don't care.
Yeah, that's a reaction of a man that is just tired. He's like, listen, I at this point in my life, like, I just can't be bothered. You know, like, can give you the reaction that you want, but then what? You might find something else to complain about. It's funny because I was talking about this yesterday with one of my friends, to be fair, and about how some of us men, when we get to a certain stage in our life, you know, we just have this mellow, like, just can't be bothered with I can't be bothered with the drama, I just can't be bothered with this. So you know what? If you want to go do something else, somebody else, go do it. And it's funny enough because yesterday I saw a video by Kevin Gates, and he literally said that I love you enough to let you go, be happy with somebody else if I can't make you happy. And this is one of the situations, if anything, this is what I'm saying, because really and truly, if I'm not making you happy, then what do I want to do about it? I can try and change, which I have tried, but everything that I've tried to do still doesn't satisfy you. So therefore, maybe I'm best letting you go.
I don't want to feel like this anymore.
First question, you don't care about someone else. What the is wrong with you?
It's this.
It's
this.
what? Me literally trying to get through it and you're still showing that you don't give a about me.
You see when he says it's this, do you know what I mean? Now, what I believe was going on here is the matter of the fact is Sophie has struggled to translate what she's trying to say. When it comes to communication, she's tried to obviously express what she wants from him, but she's been unable to do it in a way that makes sense to Rob for him to understand. For him, he's reading it as, but we're always doing this though, and we're not getting anywhere. And the reason why they're always doing this and they're not getting anywhere is because whatever she's trying to express, she's unable to express it in the way that makes sense. And that's the thing though, communication relations can be very hard because sometimes people don't know how to say what they are trying to say. They know how they feel and then they know what they want to say, but then coming out of the mouth isn't always easy. And that's why nowadays, you know, it's important to ask more questions rather than try and give an answer straight away. Because if you ask more questions, you may get down to what the actual issue is.
And you completely just...
You act like this. Okay, cool.
Bye.
Bye
There you go.
forever.
There she goes. It's just like, she be playing games. And I'm like, it then. I'm not playing this game with you anymore.
So Rob sees it as, you know, playing games. And to be fair, it's one of the situations where you can easily see it as if she is playing games because of the inconsistency of just the madness that comes out of her mouth. But this isn't even a case of playing games. This is a matter where she's been trying to say something for a while, but she just hasn't been able to find the correct words for it. And Rob has not been asking the right questions. He's just been reacting to impulse, and therefore these two have got nowhere. But it is kind of annoying because they literally had just a therapy session, and you would have thought something would have come of it. And let's be real, even in that therapy session, all it was about Sophie's insecurities and the things that are basically made her to be the way she is now. But even the therapist was unable to actually translate what Sophie was actually trying to say because the therapist is freaking useless. I should have been the therapist in that conversation, but hey, it is what it is. But hey, goddamn, it's crazy. Well. With that being said, thank you so much for your time, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.